Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends and lovers of jazz, welcome to the first of two nights under the title Spiritual Jazz with Paul Zauner's Bluegrass featuring Hermon Mehari. The answer to the question why spiritual jazz is simple. Music always has a spiritual dimension and does not need words to express what in everyday life needs words. Although we are living in a time of digital atmosphere and reduced context, it is possible in this way to stay in a field of communicating with each other. The first concert is dedicated to jazz genius Charles Mingus and his universe of inspiring compositions. We are wishing you an uplifting night together with artistic director Clemens Salesny on saxophone, Paul Zauner on trombone, Wolfram Derschmidt on bass, Dusan Novakov on drums, Jan Korinek on organ Hammond, and Hermon Mehari on trumpet.
Meine Damen und Herren, herzlich willkommen im Café Museum. Bluegrass featuring Hermon Mehari aus Kansas City, wohnt jetzt in Paris. Jan Korinek aus Prag, assoziiert mit Passau. Clemens Salesny, Altsaxophon und Bassklarinette. Wolfram Derschmidt, Kontrabass und Dusan Novakov, Schlagzeug. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Café Museum in Passau. Right now, you are with us in the absolutely central point of Europe. This is in the middle of a room. It's a 1,000-year-old room. It maybe was a church 1,000 years ago, and now we celebrate here jazz and improvised music and blues, and we celebrate love. So welcome to our first spiritual live stream, and we have Hermon Mehari all the way from Kansas City via Paris coming to Passau. Clemens Salesny on alt saxophone and bass clarinet from Vienna. Jan Korinek from Prague. Wolfram Derschmidt from Upper Austria, Gmunden, and Dusan Novakov all the way from Serbia via Graz and Vienna, living now in Vienna. And this was the tune Pithecanthropus erectus from Charles Mingus. The whole evening is dedicated to the music of Charles Mingus, and it's dedicated to the blues, it's dedicated to the love, it's dedicated to the spirit of the music. So welcome. The next tune is going back to some old New Orleans roots. It's called Jelly Roll. Even Charles Mingus did not really say he studied this old masters, but somehow he got it from his friends. So the next tune is called Jelly Roll. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Don't let them drop. Don't let them drop that atomic bomb on me. Oh Lordy, 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 Lord. I love the life. I love the humor. I love to be with you. I love to be in the nature. Oh Lord, don't let drop them this atomic bomb on me. And now I tell you, Lord, I love life. I love you. I love everybody so much. And now, Lord, please don't let drop that digital dictatorship on us. Don't let it drop on us. it's okay to use it for a good life, but don't use it for a dictatorship. Don't use it like this. Oh, lordy, 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 Lord. Don't let them drop this digital dictatorship on us. Let's use it for human resources. Let's use it for love. Let's use it for being together to develop a new world. There ain't no big problem in the world we can solve together. But we can solve the problem with war, digital dictatorship, and all of this big bullshit. Don't let them drop this atomic bomb on me. Don't let drop this digital dictatorship on us. We want to have a new world. We want to have a new world. We want to have a world of empathy together to develop a new world. Thank you, Lord. Lordy, Lordy, Lord. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, out at your homes, or maybe you're in the wood and listening on some iPhone or on some little computer in the wood and it's dark. Imagine you have a beautiful wolf next to you who is biting on your tooth, and soon you will be eaten. This feels like Charles Mingus felt when he was writing the last song called Fables of Phobos, about some inhuman being in quite a while ago in the United States, and some things are still very bad, not just in the States, all over the world. And I have the feeling sometimes people don't learn. Sometimes it's going backwards. But Charles Mingus wrote a song about one of the most beautiful human being, also about Lester Young. And Lester Young was one of the most sensitive, beautiful musicians in all time, and one of his beautiful dedications Charles Mingus wrote is called Goodbye Pork Pie Head. He wrote it 2 months after Lester Young passed in the year 1959. 1959 is the year where I was born, and I'm proud that we can play this beautiful song now. And thank you, Charles Mingus. Thank you for all listening to us. And hopefully soon you don't have to sit in the wood next to the wolf and let eat your food and your legs. Maybe soon you can come back to the Cafe Museum in Passau, the middle of Europe, or maybe even the middle of the world, because if you see it, everybody is in the middle of the world and is connected to everybody. So we are all connected. So people, I tell you, don't do bad, because we are all connected. It gets back to you. So goodbye, pork pie head. Goodbye, Pork Head by Charles Mingus, dedicated to the one and only Lester Young. We're coming to the last two songs. Thank you for spending the evening with us. As you know, even musicians eat. They have a lot of fun. They have a lot of good life, a lot of good eating, sex, and fun, everything. But even sometimes musicians need money, and so thank you for spending all this money. We thank all the sponsors, Radiolog, ZF, BNP Stiftung, City of Passau, many others. Also private sponsors, and thank you for donating tonight. All your money, empty your bank account and give it to us. Thank you. And I know we are very happy because we also thank Christoph, Malis, Nora, and Jürgen for always being with us, taking care of the sound, the picture, of announcing, of organizing and helping to do this, that we don't have to stop the music. We continue, and I tell you, we never will stop, even there's nothing anymore. Believe, we never will stop. So, thank you to Hermon Mehari, first time in Passau. Trumpet. Thank you to the musical director of the band, Clemens Salesny, on saxophone and bass clarinet. Thanks to the amazing, wonderful Jan Korinek on piano and organ. Thank you for coming down from the peak of the mountains and playing with us. On bass, Wolfram Derschmidt. And thank you to the genius on drums, Dusan Novakov. We will perform tomorrow and another night some more spiritual music, and I hope you could catch some of the waves. We have some really interesting music also tomorrow night. and hope we see us again tomorrow night and many other times over the internet or in person. Wherever you are, we are coming. And I tell you, digital is a good thing if you use it well. Digital is not good to build a dictatorship. And we will see us. If you do this, you will believe it's not good for your health. If you think wrong in this way, it's not good. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. So the last tunes are again from Mr. Charles Mingus. We thank Charles Mingus for bringing all this great music on the earth. And Charles Mingus is not dead. Charles Mingus is living with his music and his spirit and his love and his anger even, because his anger was also a lot of love. He saw many bad things, like people like Governor Phobos or all of many things, and he got angry, and this was really important to get angry because you cannot accept some things. So we play Wednesday night prayer meeting and Better Get Hit in Your Soul. And one thing what we really feel is like all this music is connected. Charles Mingus, Lester Young, Ray Charles, early Renaissance music, music from Eritrea, music from Cuba, all is connected. We all are connected. So we wish you a good evening and thank you.
Hello, Hermon.
Hello.
It's lovely having you at the cafe.
So it's my pleasure to be here.
You released new album a few months ago, November 2020. It's entitled A Change for the Dreamlike.
No.
And you described it as a modern mixtape of dreams. What kind of dreams are you talking about, and what are you dreaming of, and what's the modern aspect of it?
Yes, so I chose the kind of a theme of dreams in general. So not specifically the way we might think of dreams as in terms of sleeping and the kind of dreams we have at night, but dreams in the greater sense, in our personal dreams of things we want. Also dreams in the sense of our reflections, looking back, and dreams of the blurring between what's real and what's not.
Or of our visions looking forward, maybe?
Yes. Yeah. All these terms play a role in the theme of the album, notably because I did this during the first confinement. And I was thinking about all these aspects. I was reflecting on family history. I was, dreaming about futures. And was also in a place that was, in a sense, kind of dreamy, because even I think everyone would kind of say the whole situation was a bit surreal as well. And then I say modern. I coupled modern mixtape, because the mixtape in this day and age, the old mixtape was someone putting together a bunch of songs for you on a cassette and giving it to you. But the modern mixtape now is the same idea. It's a curated experience. I just say modern because it's a new format that you see sometimes. You see some artists, they say this is not an album, it's more of a mixtape. If you look at the songs specifically, they're kind of they're similar because there's a theme, but they all sound a bit different. So that's kind of what I mean by modern mixtape of dreams.
Also, the usual process in producing a new work in music is to go through a lot of rehearsing and working together. It wasn't like this at all with this album. You did all by yourself in isolation in the French countryside.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with the result? And how was it?
I'm very, very satisfied with it. Like you said, I was by myself. I mean, I was, in terms of the music making process, I was by myself in a barn, which was converted into an artist studio, which I then converted into my own personal music studio. And I composed all these songs on my own. I wrote them all, I arranged them all, or even in the solitude of a long walk in the countryside. Maybe, I mean, there was cows there too, so I wasn't maybe completely alone. But in the whole process, I did have collaborators, but due to the impossibility of playing together with other people, I had to collaborate at a distance. Send the music to these musicians and say, "Can you play on this? And this is what I'm thinking." I send it back, and none of the musicians heard the complete song, let alone the other songs on the album. And the whole process from beginning to end. So I also mixed and mastered it myself. And usually when you have an album mixed and mastered, someone else is listening to it. And so no one had heard it except for me when I released it. And I was proud enough and believed in it to do that. And the response has been honestly way beyond what I expected, especially for such a humble little project in the countryside, right?
Yes. I've been reading some critics' remark on this album, and one of these critics is describing the trumpet as a vulnerable presence. It's a very poetic description, and I'd like to ask you what the trumpet is for you. How or why did you choose trumpet?
I like that description, vulnerable presence, because for me it's true, because in a personal sense, but a lot of people kind of feel like the trumpet is an instrument that's really powerful and strong and forceful, and it can be those things, and it can be those things for me, but I like the elasticity of the trumpet in the emotions and feelings that it can convey. And my personality isn't the brash, trumpet player, and I don't play like that. And I think it's a particular way of playing. And as this album was done as a completely solo project by myself, it was also at the same time something super personal. And some of the topics that are kind of touched upon are personal. And the trumpet is kind of my means of putting myself out there, And so that's the vulnerability, right? That's my voice, right? Yeah. And that's where the vulnerability comes from. And I love that description. I think it's pretty good. And that's what was cool about this project was the way people talked about it was like 1,000% what I intended. Right?
Yes.
Many people said, wow, I hear you in this. I hear more of you in this than anything else you've done. And they said, wow, this is a really emotional thing. All these things that I really wanted to convey, it was there. And people, that's one of the things that really made me happy about it.
As we were talking the other day, you mentioned to me that the voice of a musician is the way he or she hears the music. Would you like to explain that to our audience? What you mean by that?
Yeah, it's a bit complicated. Yes and no, but essentially the artist, their conception of in whatever art they do, the conception of the world, the conception of the way they hear things in terms of musically, the way they see things in terms of maybe a painter or even a dancer, the way they see movement. That's what they convey in their art. And it's important for the artist to be very clear in this image of what it is, whatever it is. In the sense that they, one, perform or create it in its most pure form, but also so that the receiver can see the art more clearly or hear the art more clearly. That's the short way, maybe kind of put it. It's a bit, there's a lot of aspects to it. Yeah.
Yes, it's one of the
Yeah.
aspects. And as a musician, in your creative work, you're trying to or do perform in the zone. Would you explain what that is?
Yeah.
And how you enter that zone? Maybe.
Essentially, we as musicians, we can only perform in this, what we call the zone, right? Much like an athlete, performer of any kind, an actor, actress, you get to the point where you connect with your vision, you connect with your artistic vision in the moment, and you let the subconscious, the unconscious do the work. To the point where you're almost not necessarily aware and thinking in a cognitive way while you're doing this. Yeah, you let go. And there's examples all the time, and I mean, it's always easy to see in I think in sport, and I remember hearing an anecdote about there's a really, really veteran tennis player, I don't remember who it was, and he was playing in one of the final matches against a younger underdog, and the underdog was beating him pretty badly, and the veteran, I wish I remember the name, but I don't remember who they were, but when they're switching sides of the court, he said to the younger guy, "Wow, what's amazing what you're doing with your stroke, like the technique with your stroke. It's incredible. You're killing me with that." At that point, the underdog started losing because he took him out of his zone. He had him thinking about his technique, and the veteran won the match. And it's the same thing. It's like when we play, we can't really be in this kind of thought-filled manner. We just need to play freely, hearing and playing. And for me, that's what I do.
And what are you heading for in your art? What is your goal?
My goal, and it's funny because I'm 33 now, which you can see on my Facebook.
Yes, 25th of July.
Yeah. My goal has been the same since I was about 18 when I realized what my goal was. And I've always kept to this. I don't know how I decided this was my goal, but this is just kind of how I am, was to connect with people with my music and make them feel something. Something can be anything. It can be happiness, it can make them cry, it can make them remember memories, or just to feel something through my music. So for me, it's about the connection with the people. So when I perform, my point is to, it might sound obvious, but not all musicians are like this. Like many musicians I know, for instance, they almost don't care about the audience. They do it in a self-serving way.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that's wrong. They do it for the fun of playing with their bandmates.
Mhm.
And those aspects, of course, exist in my life. I love playing with other musicians, and I enjoy it for myself as well. But my main goal is to connect with the audience.
Mhm. The English writer and philosopher Aldous Huxley said that after silence, that which comes nearest to express what cannot be expressed, the inexpressible, is music. What do you think about it? And maybe you would like to share a thought about silence as an integral and necessary element in music.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it today. I was actually sitting by the river having lunch, thinking about the inexpressible aspects of life and then of music. And I think I'm not even sure. If you ask me this next year or maybe next week, I might have a different answer.
I'll ask in 1 hour.
Yeah, ask me in 1 hour. But I think those things don't need to be explored. It's in terms of like the unknown, in terms of like figuring out like what it is about music that does, like, we may never know, and that's okay. I think it's okay not to know that. We don't want to take away the mystery of it, you know. But we do know, and I do agree with the quote that music does this, has this ability to communicate the unexpressible, or whatever the best way to say that is. And silence, the thing about the role of silence in music, silence has a role in many ways. Like we might initially think silence as just pure silence where there's no sound, but silence can also be rests, right? So like the moments between the notes you play, and the moments of not just like long moments, but any specific rhythm. So rhythm in a sense is silence in the absence of silence, and playing with this. And this is why rhythm, I feel, is a very important aspect of music. There are things you can communicate with rhythm as well. You know, there's strong rhythmic traditions coming from Africa. You feel something. Yeah, it's a bit of a broad subject, but yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
It's my pleasure.